Hi, my name is Daniel Liu, and this is the project I performed for 2022 BASEF Science Fair Solution of Eye Contact Troubles During Script Reading, Teleprompter. First, I'll give an overview of my project and explain some prerequisite data. Then I'll move on to the design, show the list of materials and instruments, and share my process of construction. After that, I'll give my observations and a follow-up, and finally, we come to the conclusion. First, here's an overview of my project. My project aims to help aspiring content creators, including myself, who use scripts a lot when making videos. With the standard recording distance, it's very easy to notice the speaker's eyes are looking in a direction other than the camera. The effect of poor eye contact impacts the quality of engagement negatively. This project is to create a teleprompter which reflects horizontally displayed text onto a sheet of glass while invisible on the other side, and effectively solves the problem of indirect eye contact. And comparing to the expensive commercial teleprompters, the one I will make is cost-effective and more affordable. In order to successfully create a teleprompter, I'll first do my research and get a better understanding of the mechanism. Terminology included in this project has normal, angle of incidence, and angle of reflection. The normal is the imaginary line which is perpendicular to the plane where all the light rays are reflected. It's used to determine the angle of incidence and reflection. The angle of incidence is the angle between a light ray hitting a surface and the normal. The angle of reflection is the angle between the reflected ray and the normal. Here's an enhancement of the diagram from the previous slide. What's visible to the naked eye are indeed the reflected rays, but they seem like an image traced behind the plane mirror. That's just how our eyes depict the reflected rays to be. However, you can't make an argument that they aren't the reflected rays. An obvious example is a bathroom mirror. There seems to be a replica of a three-dimensional space behind the mirror, but it's actually a grouping of multiple reflections. The exact same diagram from the previous slide is rotated to suit the real situation of a teleprompter. Here, the law of reflection is introduced. It states that the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection. The diagram of the previous slide only makes sense due to the fact that the law of reflection takes place. As you can see, in order to have a direct reflection, the script must be positioned 45 degrees from the sheet of glass because the angle of incidence is the complementary angle of that. 90 minus 45 is 45 degrees. The angle of reflection is the same, adding up to 90 degrees of vertical reflection. Next, we move on to the project design. I need 4 right isosceles triangles of like length 24.75 centimeters and 2 rectangles 28 centimeters by 24.75 centimeters. The sheet of glass will be 35 centimeters by 28 centimeters. The dimensions are slightly longer because it'll be inserted along the diagonal. The challenge of creating the teleprompter lies in these dimensions. Even if they are applied exactly, there will still be some inconsistencies due to the roundings made in calculations applying the Pythagorean theorem. Considering human errors, there will be even more inaccuracies. While one difference plays a large role, however, by limiting mistakes to a few millimeters off, the teleprompter created would still work. The resulting figure will be a rectangular prism without the front and the back. The front is where the text displaying device is placed and the user reads the text. The back is where a recording camera is placed. Although the resulting structure is shaped like a rectangular prism with squared sides, the 2 triangles on each side will have a slight gap between them, which provides extra space for the glass. Let's take a look at what materials and instruments are required to create the teleprompter. I will use these materials: foam core board, a sheet of glass, and duct tape. I'll also need the following instruments: a ruler, a pencil and eraser, and a cutting knife. We've done the design and prepared the materials. Now let's move on to the process of construction. The first step is to cut out the 4 triangles and 2 rectangles with foam board. Again, the dimensions are 24.75 centimeters leg length for the triangles and 24.75 centimeters by 28 centimeters for the rectangles. The second step is to tape 2 triangles to the 2 longer sides of the rectangles at a 90-degree angle, as shown in the photo. This step is repeated 2 times. The third step is to tape the 2 figures together. Pay special attention to the direction of the rectangles, being parallel to each other, not complementary. The last step is to insert the glass. The 28-centimeter side should correspond to the same side length from the rectangles. The reason I didn't make the teleprompter with the 35-centimeter side is because it would make a single line of the text too long, so you will have to glance from left to right again. That's why the 28-centimeter side is used for the length. Now the teleprompter has been created. The next slide are my observations and thoughts during the creation process. The text goes through birefringence, which occurs when one light ray splits into 2 rays because each side of the sheet of glass reflects. If light leaks from behind the teleprompter, the text appears more dim. While the first problem is unavoidable, using the glass as thin as possible will at most reduce the impact. Meanwhile, a piece of dark cloth can cover up the excess light, and the camera is tucked inside the cloth as well. Okay, we've come up to the conclusion, and let's see what we've been inspired by doing the project. My design was proved to be feasible and practical. The result was very positive, and the teleprompter is reliable and cost-effective. The product I created differs slightly in the strength and clarity of the reflection from a commercial and expensive teleprompter. Meanwhile, I understand that the drawbacks are easy to fix. The project achieved its goal of solving the eye contact troubles by using this teleprompter. Last but not least, I really enjoyed doing this project as it not only helps with my own content creation endeavors in the future, but I am certain that it will be able to help others as well. That is all about my project. Should you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much for watching.